What's good, YouTube? All of my 2K players, my team players, Play Now players. It's your boy RC the Great, back with another video, a playbook breakdown, a playbook tutorial to help you guys win more games and beat more of these cheesers out here that just like running 5 auto game. We're gonna be a little bit different than these guys. We're actually gonna run some real offense to win our games. I appreciate you stopping by the channel. Real quick, take a look at my team. We did pick up some new players. If you're a my team player, I know you understand. We out here grinding for different things. I just got my first diamond reward from the market, and I picked up that Peja Stojakovic. And you know I did not pay a lot of MT because I'd be out there sniping them as soon as they drop. I make sure I try to get me a nice snipe. Nice little 83,000 MT, but it's better than paying 350K. So if you're not into sniping, definitely start doing that if you have the patience for it. If not, understand. But that's not why you're here. You're here for a playbook. So make sure you head over to the auction house, and we're going over plays from the 2013 Heat Playbook. Now, yes, the team name is the Heat, but this playbook is straight fire. This is a Heat Playbook. They have so many different plays that we're going to be going over, and so many of the top plays that get you open looks. You're definitely going to want to pick this up while you can. It is about 4,000 MT in the market right now, but it's going to go up even higher once people notice that there's a couple good banger plays in here that can get you easy baskets that people are seeking. And honestly, I was just labbing up and I chose this playbook and I was like, yo, this is a dope playbook. So of course I wanted to share it with everybody else, let y'all know what's out there. But another thing you need to do before you start running playbooks and things like this, make sure you guys put these things on. So your icon pass, and make sure you have it on full receiver control. That allows you to select the receiver after pressing R1 to make the icon pass. You hold their button, then you can control them. So it makes it a little bit easier to move your player around wherever you want them to go. And then the receiver control, when you hold circle, you can do dribble handoffs way better. So make sure you have those on, and I'll show you when we're going through the plays how to use them and get the most out of the feature during the play. But let's jump into some domination so we can go over the plays. The plays that we are going over in this video are right on the right screen. Remember, you go to your play selections in the coaches setting to get here. And I explained this before, but I always leave post up and quick isolation on there just in case I want to call one of those. But the plays we're going over are quick 4 horns flare, quick 32 box flare, cut 5 give alley, punch 5 flare rip, ISO 12 rip, and ISO 32 quick, which I did go over in my last video, but it's stacked in this playbook too. Now all these plays that I just went over are literally plays that you can score with every play if you use them the right way. And then inside of the playbook, stuff that we're not even going over today, quick 3 rip floppy, that's another great play that I went over in 2K19. Quick 3 scissor. Like literally, there are tons of plays in this playbook that I'm not going to literally go through all 20, 30 of them, but you can find so many plays in this Heat playbook that can expose different types of defenses. And this goes against real comp players too, not just players that are casual. You can use these against comp players that run really good defensive sets and still be able to score. So check out all the plays that I'm highlighting on your own time if you want to practice in domination. But yeah, man, this playbook is definitely fire. And again, if you've seen my videos before, or if you're new to the channel, we will be breaking down every play and different options, how to use them against the CPU, how to look for what different users are going to be doing on defense to expose that. But let's get into the first play in the playbook, and that is quick 4 horns flare. We're going to run through the full play, show you how it works in its entirety, and then we're going to break it down in different sets and show you the replay. You know how we do on this channel. So we get an easy bucket with Peja. Worked a little bit harder than we wanted to for the basket, but let's break down, show you what's actually happening. This is a well-known play in the community. I know you guys already know this play, but we're going over it. So you're gonna get your screen first to get you into the lane. If that off-ball defender stays with you, now Peja Stojakovic is now going around a flare screen, and he can get an open kick out 3 if that defender gets caught up because you weren't able to get to the basket, so something else is going to be there. Now, for some reason, if that shot is not there, you do get a ball screen, and it's now a screen and roll with 2 men in the corner standing just in case anybody helps out. So you have several options to score in different ways. Now, we'll show you how to get those open looks and actually make this play work exactly how it should. So you go around this screen, You get to the basket, if they help out, that kick out three is going to be deadly, especially if you have a good shooter out there. LeBron's not the best shooter, but he was wide open, and you don't want to leave somebody wide open. Now, if you have somebody that can drive to the lane very easy, you want to take that drive to the basket, especially if they're a good dunker. And what makes this play so dangerous is that they have to watch that kick out three, so they're not always going to clog the lane against you. Now let's go over the second play. Quick 32 box flare. This is one of my favorites from the Hawks playbook last year. If you watched my Hawks playbook tutorial last year, this was in there. And this play is going to give you tons of off-ball screen action to get your shooters open, but also open up different driving opportunities. So the first thing you're going to be looking for is the down screen. Eddie Jones is getting a down screen right now from Gilmore. When I kick it out to Eddie Jones immediately, Peja is getting a down screen for himself, and that's usually my first option look for a three-point shot. If there's too much space there, I'm taking that shot. If not, Eddie Jones is now getting a backdoor screen, and John Stockton is coming around his own screen. So screens everywhere to create switches and get open shots. If the defender's late to close out, you then have an easy drive to the basket, because you know blow-by animation is back in 2K20, so they do have to be on you in order to stop that. But now let's see if we can get some open shots off of this, and then we're going to break down how to make this play more effective using the receiver control options. So you see Eddie Jones gets that backdoor screen. They switch it. Right there we had a barbecue chicken situation where Iverson is on Artis Gilmore, and they don't want that to happen because that's a mismatch. So you're looking for mismatches, you're looking for open shots, you're looking for drives. There's so many different ways to score with one play. Again, we kick it out to Eddie Jones. Nothing's there. Give it over to Peja. Now we get the ball to Eddie Jones inside, and notice there was a circle under his player because I controlled him for that. Now, instead of going for the three, I chose to control Eddie Jones on the cut and send him into the lane. Now, let's look at it again. Get it over to Peja. Right here, when I press R1, I hold circle, which is Eddie Jones's icon. And in this moment, I notice Iverson's trailing over the screen. So I put my player into the basket using a directional pad or thumbstick, actually. And I go into the lane myself, creating an easy opportunity for me to score. All right, now we're in the substitution menu, and we're going to simulate a situation where the opponent is playing center defense or defense with their center. So what you can do is put somebody that can shoot at the center position, and then you go over to your play settings, and you know how you can select the play for a specific player. You're going to place quick 32 box flare on the center or whoever you want running around these screens from the bottom first. What this is going to do is create a situation where they then have to chase this player around. So right now, if my opponent was defending Amari Stoudemire, he has to chase me around the court. So now he's at the top of the key, and once I get that backdoor screen, if he's not right with me, he's going to get caught in the screen, leaving me open for that shot, which does happen a lot against users as well. So this time we're going to call it again. We're going to show you how to get open in the lane using the receiver control with your shooting guard who's coming around that second screen. So right there you see Eddie Jones cut inside. Little trickery there with the little smile from Eddie, but we're going to show you why this works. So against a user, when they see the screen happen right here, they're usually going to switch to that player and sprint out and try to steal the ball. Once that happens, you hold their icon and control them and then direct them to the lane, and you kind of beat them. It's like a little chess match. You want them to think you're doing something and you do something else, and now you're in the lane for an easy basket, and we're moving on to the third play. Cut 5, give alley. Now this play is going to give you alley-oop opportunities, but also opportunities for open three and a way to still use that receiver control to get yourself into the basket. So right here, first thing you see is LeBron James going around that flare screen, which gives you many options. But after you make this first pass to your center, you're now going to hold circle for the dribble handoff, which is going to catapult you kind of into the lane. If you get stopped there and you can't get there, now the center is going around a backdoor screen himself to look for that alley-oop pass. Now, the alley-oop pass is not always going to be there, but a lot of the time it will. To make this play even better, you can actually get your center to be the player to be going around that back door. To, like I said, against somebody that's playing off-ball defense. To do this, you want to set the play as your power forward. So now the power forward is going to receive the first pass. The center is going to be going around that backdoor screen, creating a situation where the defender has to stick with you if they're playing center defense. Again, this is just against somebody that's playing center defense. So right now, right there, you see Amari Stoudemire goes around that back door. If somebody's playing user defense, they have to stay with me there. They have to stay with them because they're going to be chasing them around themselves. And now you have an opportunity to beat that person one-on-one to the basket, because most likely they're going to be falling asleep on that play. They're not going to know what's coming. All right, moving on to our fourth play is Punch 5 Flare Rip. Another play I went over last year and another fan favorite in the community. This one is going to get you tons of open shots and drives to the lane. That's going to make your defender have to play you and have to switch around to get to the open players. Usually you don't go through the full play, but if you do, there are some good options towards the end of the play. But the beauty of the play starts right here when you first make that first pass. All of the space you're able to get off of this flare screen. So right here, if your player gets caught, you have the entire left side of the basket to receiver control or to just make a directional pass to get you an open three. You can get an open three here or use the receiver control to get yourself into the lane, which is the version I use a lot. If you don't get anything there, your center is getting a little curl screen into the lane. Sometimes that creates a switch. You can use it. And if nothing's there, you then get a down screen from your power forward to the small forward. You can look for a shot there. Nothing there. Now you get a ball screen and roll to the basket, which is eventually how we ended up getting our 2 points with a nice dunk from Xavier McDaniel. So now the option that we're going to use the most, let's go through that a couple times and show you different ways to do it. So when you make that first pass, this flare screen right here is the most dangerous part, and it's going to get you a lot of open shots that you can green easily, especially if you have a good shooter out there. So look at all the space on the left side that's created by that little brush screen. I get a wide open shot with John Stockton, and then if I wanted to get in the lane, I would use somebody like LeBron. As you can see here, I'm bringing the ball up with LeBron. I'm going to call it with him. So now this gives me an opportunity where if I don't have that shot right away, but my defender's on my hip, I have him on my hip, I can still get into the lane for a basket or get fouled because of the strength that he has. So running this play with different players can give you different results. And now I want to show you how to use the give and go option to be able to make it even easier for you. So right here, I held the X button when I made this pass. So I make the first pass over to Alonzo Mourning, and I'm holding X. While I'm holding X, I'm controlling LeBron. I see my player gets caught up in the screen. So I don't stick with the three-point shot. I now direct myself into the lane, fully controlling LeBron. And then when I let go of X, I get that pass, get myself into the lane for an easy shot, or I'm going to get fouled. All right, moving on to the next play is going to be ISO 12 Rip. It's a quick isolation play, quick hitter. Doesn't take too long, and it's not much action going on it, but it is very effective. Right here, I'm going to run it through just the regular way. A casual way. You know, I'm using Eddie Jones, not somebody that I would always choose for it, but he's getting a double screen to curl him around the lane, and then there's going to be an isolation situation on the left side of the court that you can either post up or, you know, do some kind of triple threat work, jab, step in, fadeaways. This is a situation where you can use a good player like a Kobe, Jordan, LeBron. And I like to actually switch who I'm using this play with. So I'm going to head over to my play call settings, and I'm going to actually select LeBron for this play. He's the person I use with this because there's a couple different ways I like to run it, because I like to keep the defender on my hip and have a situation where I can post up. And Eddie Jones is only going to be able to shoot or get an open drive off of that. He's not going to be able to post up if I want to isolate. So if I switch it to LeBron, now I have different ways that I can attack this play. The first thing I want to do is take this shot if he's wide open. And off of those double screens, you can direct him to the three-point line when you pass the ball. If that's not there, you definitely want to be able to use that receiver control. So when you now use the receiver control, you can get him into the lane and then pass the ball. Again, I selected him, held triangle, and as he came around, I'm controlling him myself with sprint to get him into the lane. Once I release his icon, I'm going to pass him the ball, and now he's into the lane for an easy basket. If that doesn't happen and I just have to post up and isolate, LeBron is somebody that I'm going to want to do that with, and not Eddie Jones. All right, the last play we're going to go over is ISO 32 quick, and I went over it in my last Pistons playbook video in depth, so we're just going to go over it real quick It's one of my favorite plays to either get you 2 open shots or into the lane for an easy dunk. As you can see, we get a wide, like literally wide open shot with Eddie Jones. I use this play very often. So you're getting a down screen from your shooting guard. That's a shot right there for your point guard or whoever the player is coming off of that screen. Then you're coming around with the player that initially passed the ball. You're getting into the lane, threatening, drawing the defense. If you don't get a dunk there, you kick it out for an open shot that is usually going to be there. It is a very consistent play. But let's jump into some unlimited gameplay now and show you guys that these plays do actually work against user opponent. We got some different games here. So definitely check out what's happening on the court and how different users play defense and how I usually attack different defenses there. That punch flare rip just now, I was able to get inside using that give and go or receiver control. Now I'm going to head over to ISO 12 rip and just gauging what my opponent's doing. I see he's leaving me open for that shot, so I'm going to take it. Each play up the court, I'm running a different style of offense. Instead of running 5 out every play, this play I was playing was actually running 5 out every single possession up and down the court. And it was crazy. Then he started playing 2-3 zone defense because he couldn't stop the plays. And y'all know I did a 2-3 zone, how to beat the zone defense video already, so that was no problem. But again, we're just going to be coming out, gauging how our defenders playing based on the user, based on how they like to play defense. That's the kind of plays we're going to call. They're going to have to switch up their style of defense in order to stop us from what we're doing. You can't be one-dimensional on offense or defense if you're going to be trying to win a lot of games against different types of players, right? Sometimes you're going to be playing against people that like to switch all around the court. Sometimes you're going to play against people that play strictly on ball. Sometimes you're going to play against zone. Sometimes you're going to play against an off baller that just sits with their center. But there's a way to beat literally every style of defense. Just got to be patient. I use different plays, different freelances. I run all types of different stuff up and down the court. And I also run 5 out as well, but I mix it all in so that my opponent doesn't get used to one thing that I'm doing. And I use different players with different plays or the same player for a different play. It's just, you have to be able to mix up your offense in order to be effective against multiple different types of people. Running 5 out every play is going to work against 1 or 2 players, but then you're going to come up against somebody that plays great defense. And then if that's all you know how to do is run 5 out, you're literally not going to have a chance to win the game at all. But if you have multiple ways to attack the basket, multiple ways to attack your opponent, they're going to have to keep guessing. It's going to be a chess match rather than just a rim running contest, which is what 2K20 is turning into. And it's not strictly only because of the game. It's not the game's fault. It's because people play the way that they play. You don't have to play that way. You can use different styles of offenses to win games and to beat people, but people would rather come to the court, 5 out, and try to blow by every time. And that's how the game actually turns out. And it's not 2K's fault, although yes, they created the game. But y'all the ones that are playing it, and you're playing it how you're playing it because that's what's easy to you and it doesn't take any work. It doesn't take any effort at all. So that's why it's done that way. So anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox about that because I hear a lot of people complaining about it. But it's all up to you how you're going to choose to play. And with all that said, of course, I know how to run 5 out. I know how to do all that just in case I need it or somebody's like literally the cheesiest person. I know how to do everything that they know how to do. But I also like to play real basketball when I'm just casually playing, and I find ways to make it competitive as well. But if I have to strap up and play 5 out style basketball in a close game where somebody that's literally all they're doing, of course I can do it too. But 90% of the time I'm coming to the court, I'm running different plays, I'm finding different mismatches, and usually it's the people that run 5 out all game that don't know how to stop this kind of basketball because all they see is 5 out, all they know is 5 out. They don't understand how to stop, players from switching on defense. They don't understand how to stop a screen or go over or under a screen. So basketball knowledge is getting kind of lost in 2K, and I think it's up to my channel and channels like mine, 2K Kingslayer, shout out to him, or Kingslayer Hoops, he changed his name. But we definitely try to get some realism out there back in basketball and try to figure out how to get 2K to stop catering to players that don't use any kind of IQ to play the game. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate you once again for checking me out. Let me know what you want to see next. If you have a question about any of the plays, leave it in the comments. Until next time, I will catch you in the next video. All right, y'all. Peace.